Hi friends, Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. Hopefully I'm not yelling into the microphone. I've noticed the mic sounds a little funky on parts of the past two videos, so hopefully all will be well. Some nice hot tea. It's a blackberry raspberry by, I think it's Taylor is the brand. It's really good, but not sponsored, of course. I have no sponsoring. I just enjoy certain things and liking to share it with you guys. So I totally forgot to bring my phone. So we're going to record on the fly, and hopefully it won't be really long because my camera will shut off on me. All right. As far as works in progress, as far as shop update, end of things, advents are going to be going out very shortly here. So we are almost in November, which means that I'm going to be shipping those out. So I'm doing the finishing touches here, and within the next week, it'll be being shipped out. So if everything goes according to plan, by the end of next week, they'll be all shipped out. So that's the hope. I think I have just a couple left in the shop if you do want to snag one of the 2025 fiber advents. So it's more for spinning. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely go over to the website. I will have the link below in the notes section. And I'm really excited to spin these beautiful breeds with you guys. A lot of work went into these. It's all hand prepped, wool, washed, carded. So really excited to enjoy that with you. I will open along with everybody starting December 1st. So counting down, you guys, counting down. Very excited. All right. I am wearing a non-hand knit, a knit that I did not hand make. My mom found this. It is an Irish sweater that I think it says hand knit on it, but it's made in Ireland, and it's super, super warm. It is, I think, 52 degrees Fahrenheit today, and it is so comfortable. I wore it outside when it was in the 40s, and very comfy. It's like wearing a coat, so I love those kind of sweaters. It has a nice tall collar. Once upon a time, this probably would have been a rather scratchy sweater to me, like for me to be wearing, but I really enjoy wearing it. Very comfortable. So I just layer it on a t-shirt, and it's really nice. I'm so grateful to have it. Okay. Excuse me. We'll get into the works in progress. I am slowly making my way through the Mystery Musicale by Stephen West. So Stephen West of West Knits, he just, I think, a week ago, it was not even a week ago. I think it was yesterday. I'm recording on Friday, the 31st of October. So actually, I think it was yesterday that they released the photos of the finished Mystery Musicale shawl. It is the West Knits Mystery Knit Along. Every October they do one, and I am taking part in it. I did not really do a lot of photo sharing because I wanted to do kind of each section as I got through it. And I haven't finished the first section, but I'm almost there. So I will share as I go along. And of course I'll share here while I go along. But on my Instagram, I will show finished photos of each section. So I have one more scallop to do. And this is, again, that first section. I have 2 cords going on here. That's why it looks a little chaotic. It's not a hard shawl, but I will say it takes quite a bit of paying attention. I was working on this while spending time with family a week ago, and that was a little complicated because it's really hard for me to hold a conversation while I'm working on this. Each section, you kind of have to read what you're doing and pay attention to it. So this is that first section. It's, the scallop is kind of mid-area here, but there's 3 scallops at the bottom, and then there's 3 more that you work on that second row. So this is what it looks like so far. These are all my hand-dyed colorways, Multifarious Nature. So we've got Midnight or Hunter's Moon. Hunter's Moon, I'm making up names. Hunter's Moon. This is Autumn Kiss, which will be more prominent in other sections. The really dark purple colorway is Nightshade. And then this white and purple and navy speckled colorway is, it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus. So yeah, I've been working on that. It's a lot of fun, but as I mentioned, it takes quite a bit of focus. So I really like it. I wanted something complicated. I wanted something that I had to look at and really focus on. But I will say, if you want to do something where you don't have to think about it so much, this might not be a knit for you. Most Stephen West shawls, my understanding, and I've only done, I think, 2 of them. I'm looking over at mine. I think I've only done 2. This one and another one over there that I can't think of at the moment what the name is. But you really do kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. And there's a lot of detail and unique construction. Very talented. And they're a lot of fun. But as I mentioned, like, it really does take some focus. So I have one more scallop to do. My hope is that I can finish that today. This is going to be a sample that I will be hopefully able to use to show people the colorways and everything, and how you can interact different colors and things like that. So I really want to get it done eventually. I don't need to rush. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. And if you guys have ever done one of the West Knits mystery shawls, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. If you had fun, if you enjoyed it, were you able to complete it in the month? I think my first one, I almost finished it in a month, I think. I feel like I didn't, but almost in a month. This one for sure I didn't. I knew it wasn't going to happen like that, but yeah, it's involved. It's very involved, but it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, the next one I've been working on is my Weekender Crew by Andrea Mowry. I have been working on this quite a bit on my lunch breaks, and this is using, I forgot to tell you guys, I did use my alpaca to do like what section is that called? Oh, my brain right now. Mohair Dare, but instead of mohair, I used alpaca because that's the base I had. It's my alpaca cloud, and that's the Hunter's Moon. I held that double with my Hunter's Moon alpaca merino base. There we go. Okay. I feel very winded. Quite tired. Okay. This, as I mentioned, is Andrea Mowry's Weekender Crew. And this is using, I am doing, I think, the size 3. Pretty sure it's size 3. Nope. Take it back. Size 4. I'm doing a size 4, and I'm using plutolopi and old mill yarn held together. So I'm holding these 2 together to get a really neat kind of heathered look to it. Reminds me a lot of like a pumpkin pie colorway. It looks a lot like a baked pumpkin pie, and I absolutely love it. So right now I am working across the front of the sweater, and you're going back and forth, and then so you knit in the round from the bottom up, and then you split for the front and back and work them separately, and you then join them together at the top. It's a really fun technique. I did her Weekender, and I really enjoyed that. The fit of the Weekender, the first one I made, was not great. I used hand spun, and I was quite off gauge. That was my own mistake. So this time I think this is going to fit a lot better because I am getting gauge. And I think I might have gone up a size too, because I felt like having a little more drape with this design, I think, is going to look really nice. So I'm enjoying it. Again, this is a very rustic wool. If you're not big with prickle factor, if you're kind of a merino or bust, like that's your only wool that you like to wear, this might not be the time to branch out. I mean, plutolopi is really fun. It's unspun, and I love it. I love working with it. I love the durability of it because it's Icelandic wool, long, stable length. But I will say, if you're sensitive to like wool prickle, this probably isn't the one for you. I just want to give you that warning. There are other unspun wool out there that are a little bit less rustic, or I say rustic, and I think that is the best way to describe it. Where there are other brands. Unfortunately, most of them are not from the US, so it might be harder to get them, but like there are others out there, and I would just look them up, give them a try, and see what you think. I think there's going to be more and more people hopefully coming out with unspun yarn in the future, especially in the US. That would be really great, I think, to have that option. But I really do enjoy it. I do like Nutiden, kinda. So that I will put out that disclaimer. I like Nutiden. I like knitting with Nutiden. I like wearing Nutiden. I do not like the longevity of Nutiden. I have not had any holes worn into my sweaters, but I'm pretty close. There are certain sweaters where I'm pretty close. And if I can't wear a sweater more than a year without it kind of like getting the structural integrity so, that makes me, I don't know. And before everybody goes, but maybe you knit it too loosely. I actually knit a really tight gauge. So I just think that they use really beautiful wools, and sometimes they're really short staple, and that, while it leads to very soft, fluffy pieces, they easily slip and slide when you knit and when you wear, and your fiber just starts to lose. It just falls out. And I ran into that before with beautiful hand spun that I did. Was it perfectly, all the same thickness? Of course not. And the thing is it's primarily alpaca, and that was a fail. So alpaca is very strong. So that wasn't the issue. The issue is it's super soft and slip and slide. And because it was only alpaca that I spun, and I made socks out of it, and it was only a 2-ply, it just slipped and slid, and I wore a hole in my sock within a week. That was really sad and kind of traumatizing for me because that's a lot of work, because I hand spun it, and that was with the drop spindle. And and then I knit it. So I have fixed those socks, but I actually am debating getting leather, which I don't think that's probably the best idea because it's a sock. It's not like a moccasin, but I'm trying to think of a really good way to reinforce it, because I just think I'm going to wear another hole in them so easily, and that would be a shame. So I still have to work on that and get some ideas. If anybody has a really good fix for that kind of thing, other than like duplicate stitching or something, I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because we all learn from each other, and I always appreciate the knowledge being shared. It was such a bummer. It was such a bummer. So I love alpaca, but I really feel like it should have been blended with something, and that was my bad. That was one of my first spinning projects of what I would consider a luxury fiber, and I just didn't know any better, and now I know. Now I know. So the more blending you can do with fibers, the more you can add structural integrity to it for certain fibers. Others I find to be quite durable on their own, especially if they're what you call like heritage breeds that are like, I don't know, I can't think of the word at the moment, but like Shetlands. I am going to go to Shetlands because they're my babies. I have Shetlands, and I truly love them. I was just starting to spin again with Amanita's wool from last year. It's so darn soft and strong and just beautiful. And she has some guard hairs in there. There's a little guard hairs. I wouldn't say she's full on like dual coat exactly. But then again, I mean, like, she has beautifully soft wool, like very soft, but I think she does have some guard hairs in there, and I'm blending it all together and spinning it as is. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. And amazing for long draw. Its staple length is like, she's got like 7 to 8 inch staple length because it's her lamb fleece, and we shore them in the springtime. So it was like a whole year's worth of growth, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. This year we did it a little differently. So I did mention that we did shear them in the fall. So early October, we did shear them again. They have a nice little fleece going again already, and they're getting prepared for the winter time, which is awesome. But that being said, the lambs especially have a nice, like, I'd say 3 to 4 inch staple length. So much more your standard staple length for spinning, and I'm loving it. They're so soft. I look forward to spinning it. I haven't yet. I'm trying to allow myself to do more of that, because now that Advents are wrapping up, once I finish Advents, I'm going to focus a bit more on doing some of that spinning, like of their fleeces, of their wool. And I would really love to start listing some of their wool in the shop at some point, because that's super special to me, because then I can share photos and videos of these beautiful animals and the wool that they produce, and then you can make something out of it too and know where it came from. And so that's really fun, and I'm excited to eventually have like a sweater made that I get to hug them with, because it's their wool, and I don't know, it just makes me super happy. I love it. For those of you out there with sheep, I know you understand what I'm saying. It's really cool. It's really special. It's very unique, and I know not everybody is able to do that, and I feel very fortunate, because I didn't think we would ever be able to do this. I did not think we'd be able to have sheep, and once we moved out into an area where we had property to do so, it just all came into place. And apparently the prior, like, 2 owners prior to us had sheep here as well. So that's pretty cool. It's really neat. And so we're trying to bring back some of that land that just over the years just got kind of, crummy. It lost a lot of its nutrition in the soil. So there's patchiness, and just in a little portion, a very small portion of their pasture. And so we're trying to work on bringing that back. So I do some basic rotational grazing, nothing fancy. I wish I could do more, but I do some basic, and I can see that it is really helping the land. It's really doing a great job. So it's exciting. It's really cool. All right. So I'm kind of just transitioned into like a life end of things, really, right there. Hopefully you guys are for it. I have no idea how long this video is, but I do have to watch it so it doesn't get too long. I hope you guys are doing well. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're up to. For those of you that do comment, I so appreciate you, and I always look forward to hearing what you're up to and how you're doing. Yeah, it's always so much fun. And as far as what's going on, I have to still put some of the garden to bed. That's a whole thing. We still have a few veg that's holding out. We have a couple rutabagas still, and some beets that are still growing. And so I'm really letting them get that last little stitch effort to get some. But yeah, that's kind of it when it comes to the garden. So that, and then I need to put the rest of the garden to bed. So we have a rather expansive garden. For me, it's expansive. For maybe a master gardener, it isn't. But it's a pretty expansive garden. And it takes an extreme amount of work to keep it together, and trying to find that balance is still something that's ongoing for me. But I do enjoy it, and just being outside in nature is really nice, and I get that with the animals as well. So I'm trying to think of what else. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to show you guys. I pulled it and I totally forgot. Okay, so spinning. I've done some spinning, and I talked about it recently, and I just couldn't show you guys. But I finished spinning a beautiful braid by, bear with me here. It is Corgi Hill Farm. It's a BFL, so 50% BFL swirl, 25% Rambouillet, and 25% Tussa Silk. And it's Lucky Go Finland, and it's 5 ounces. Really beautiful color. So I did I think they call it oh, what is the name of it? Fractal spin. So I took the braid, I split it lengthwise, and then I went 1/2 of the length, split it again lengthwise, and then split those into color sections and spun them in color order, if that makes any sense. And then I spun the other initial half in color order. So one side on color order, other side color order times 2, like once and then another time. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. You probably can't. Yeah, it's just way too hard to see. But the color change is quite beautiful. I will show you guys this when I get it off of the bobbins. But I did, it's a 2-ply. And then I took the last little bit that was on one of them, because it's really hard to fully split things in half. And then I just took that and tied it to the last of this so that I'd only have 2 skeins. And then I did a plying bracelet and plied that up. It was a lot of fun to spin. Really, really beautiful. So I'm excited to show you guys what that ends up looking like. These bobbins, I have had people ask me about them before. I got them off of Etsy. The seller, if I can find it, I'll share it in the notes section below. They're 3D printed, and they work great on my shock. I have a shock ladybug. I know there are other ones that they work on as well. I think they have different bobbins based on the brand. What I will say is I can't give them a total rave review. I really like them. I really like working with them. The thing is that I had to do something to them to be able to use them. And what I mean by that is like the little trough that I put my Scotch tension in, it had like nubs in it. If I had left it as is, it kept getting hooked on the tension band, and it would have just shredded the tension band, which that is a design flaw. Really what those are little nubbins from the 3D printer, and frankly, it's just an extra step that the person who made them could have like buffed and made it nice and smooth, and they didn't. And really, that's just not understanding how they're used, which is fascinating to me, because I keep thinking, this person must spin or know something, have a spinner in their life, because you just don't create something like this unless you are inspired to do so. And I guess that's my one thing I would say about it. So I will share it. I'm not sharing it with like rave reviews, but because to me a rave review means I got it from the seller and I didn't have to do anything to it, and I loved it. Like, that's a rave review, I would say. But if you have to alter something yourself to use it, like just to use it, not because you like it a different color or something, because the use was impeded, that frustrates me. So it wasn't super hard. I think my husband just used like a little Dremel and kind of smoothed it down in areas. But I just wanted to put that out there. So if you do buy these, do keep that in mind, that you might have to sand down little rough bits, because 1, your wool will get snagged on it, and 2, your tension band can get shredded, and that would be no good. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. It's not even just like shredded, it just gets hooked and then it doesn't work well. And that's a pain in the booty if you're trying to spin and just be fluid about it. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys because I've been working on that, and I'm trying to get better about spinning a little every day, just a touch. I mean, it might be 10-15 minutes, which is hardly anything really, but something is better than nothing. So I'm incredibly grateful for that time to do that. Yeah, I think that is it. I'm going to be working on a little bit more bats. But then we're going to kind of put a little bit of a hold. I think for the holidays, I'm going to let it up and be a little kinder to myself. I love making these things, and I want to share them with all of you. But I do need to make sure that I'm also doing some things that I really enjoy, that like exploratory things and creativity. And I have some beautiful fleeces. One that unfortunately I cannot sell to anyone. I wish I could, but the shepherdess did ask me not to, and I'm going to respect that. But I did want to let you guys know that it's a really fascinating fleece, and I'm excited to work with it. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Very unique breed to the U.S. especially. Very unique breed to the U.S. And yeah. All right. Well, I think I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. Bye.